Now, for decades, Kenya has hosted refugees fleeing conflict, drought and persecution in East Africa, including sexual minorities. Most gay refugees hope to resettle outside Africa to Western countries where gay rights are better protected. While they wait, a process that can take years, one group of gay refugees is helping to inform and educate others about their situation. Rael Ombuor reports from Kiserian, Kenya.
Ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, go.
Ugandan refugees Brian Kasali, Raymond Brian and Chris Waswa host weekly podcasts from a safe house in Kenya. The men tell their audience what it's like to be a refugee and to be gay, considered a crime in Uganda, punishable by life in prison.
Well, 2009, when Uganda introduced the anti-homosexuality bill, many people left their countries to different countries like Europe. They went to Germany, you know. So for us, we just went to Kenya, just because it was the nearest country to seek refugee.
While stigma is still common, Kenya is considered the East African country most accepting of gays, where refugees can wait without fear for transfer to Western countries with laws protecting gay rights. But the process is complex and can take years, says the United Nations Refugee Agency.
It's the governments of countries around the world, whether it's Australia or Canada or the United States or others, who determine what persons how many people they would like to be able to, they can resettle, how many people, what profile, what types of families, what types of individuals.
While waiting to leave Kenya, in 2015, a group of gay East African refugees formed the Nature Network to podcast on refugee and gay issues. Their shows are available on social media and through gay rights networks. The mainly Ugandan men earn a living by selling chicken to neighbors and local eateries.
When you're a refugee, it doesn't mean that your hands are gone. You need to work. If you can't afford living in a camp, and you can afford, because there is urban refugees, if you can afford to live being an urban refugee, that means you have to do projects.
Kenya's High Court on Friday is set to rule on whether or not to overturn a colonial-era law against gay sex. While the gay refugees at Nature Network welcome the possibility, most say they still want to leave Africa. A change in law might help change some people's views, says Brian, but the overall hatred and discrimination will still be there. Rael Ombuor for VOA News, Kiserian, Kenya.